Two times in history, the fate of the entire world rested on the shoulders of just one person. Join us as we explore the heart-stopping stories of Vasili Arkhipov and Stanislav Petrov, and how their split-second decisions prevented an all-out nuclear war between the US and the USSR. Discover the power of individual decision-making and the crucial lessons we can learn from these near misses. Don't miss out on this gripping video that will leave you on the edge of your seat. The Cold War between the United States and the Soviet Union was a time of great tension and fear, with the threat of nuclear war constantly looming over the world. However, there were two occasions where the world was saved from all-out nuclear war by just one person. These incidents demonstrate the critical role that individual decision-making can play in determining the fate of the world. The first incident occurred in 1962 during the Cuban Missile Crisis. The Soviet Union had placed nuclear missiles in Cuba, just a few hundred miles from the United States. President John F. Kennedy had ordered a naval blockade of Cuba to prevent further missile shipments, and tensions were high. On October 27, 1962, a Soviet submarine, B-59, was detected near the blockade. The US Navy began dropping depth charges, which are non-lethal explosives that are meant to encourage a submarine to surface. However, the Soviet submarine had not been in contact with Moscow for several days and did not know that the depth charges were non-lethal. The captain of the submarine, Valentin Savitsky, believed that war had already broken out and that the depth charges were actual torpedoes. He ordered the deployment of a nuclear torpedo, which would have triggered a full-scale nuclear retaliation from the United States. However, one of the other officers on the submarine, Vasili Arkhipov, convinced Savitsky not to launch the torpedo. Arkhipov's intervention prevented a catastrophic nuclear war. The second incident occurred in 1983 during the height of the Cold War. Stanislav Petrov, a lieutenant colonel in the Soviet Air Defense Forces, was monitoring the Soviet early warning system when he received an alert that the United States had launched 5 nuclear missiles at the Soviet Union. Petrov suspected that the alert might be a false alarm and chose not to report it to his superiors. He reasoned that if the United States had actually launched a nuclear attack, they would have done so with more than 5 missiles. His decision not to report the alert prevented an all-out nuclear war, as the Soviet Union did not respond with a retaliatory strike. The incidents involving Arkhipov and Petrov demonstrate the power of individual decision-making in shaping the course of history. If Arkhipov had not convinced Savitsky to stand down, the world as we know it might not exist today. If Petrov had reported the false alarm, it could have led to a nuclear war that would have devastated the planet. These incidents serve as a reminder that the actions of one person can have far-reaching and potentially catastrophic consequences. Thanks for watching.